Ah,
There we go. Got it. I'm going to leave that alone and let that record. Let
okay.
let it roll through, and maybe we try that one more time.
Sounds good. All right. Ready?
I am
I
ready.
need to reset my timer.
Yep, I'm doing the same.
All right. Why don't you count it for me?
3, 2, 1.
Hi, my name is Jennie Grau with Grau Interpersonal Communication, and this is my colleague.
Hi, I'm Drey Taylor. I'm a professional in the field service industry.
And today we're here to celebrate International Day of Listening on behalf of the International Listening Association. This year, International Day of Listening is being celebrated on September 19th, 2019. And the theme for this year is Be Bold, Listen for Common Ground. And toward that end, this is going to be the first of 4 short video clips where Drey and I have various kinds of conversations looking to listen for common ground together. So Drey, let's figure out what we have in common.
Let's do it. So I've had the pleasure of working with Jennie in a professional context. So I've gotten to know her a little bit, a few different things that I know that we have in common. One of them is books. So maybe I want to introduce books as a topic for finding some common ground. I already know that you read, but do you have a general preference on when you read? Do you normally read at night, in the morning, during the day, in the air? When do you read? For me, I find that I listen to audiobooks and do it in the air and while I'm driving, getting some windshield time in.
Yeah. I also listen in the air often, audiobooks. I often listen in the evening before I go to bed. And I tend to read during the day. So if it's midday, I'm with a print book in front of me. And if it's in the evening, um, sometimes I also read a print book at night, but mostly audio in the air and audio at night before I go to bed.
Ah, excellent. And one other thing, just tweaking on the audio versus print.
Mhm.
For me, I find that I read fairly slowly. And so that can frustrate me sometimes because I want to get through more material, more content. And I find that I can do it faster when listening and using a tool like Audible or something like that. What
Mhm.
about you?
Yes, I use all kinds of platforms for listening. I use Audible and I use our library program called Overdrive, which has a new version called Libby. Um, I also like the speed that I can get through books in an audio format. I too am a very, very slow reader. However, if it's something I really need to retain, I find that I have to see it in print because the bookmark function or the clip function is not enough to hold um, things in memory for me. Like I need a highlighter.
Yes, yes, getting extra retention. I think that's great. The next question that I have for you, I want to see if you have visited any national parks in Texas. For
Oh,
instance, Big Bend
not,
National Park.
so not only have I not visited any national parks in Texas, I've never been in Texas.
Oh, you've never been in Texas.
I haven't, but I have visited national parks. So we have national parks in common, but not Texas.
Well, that is a massive difference, I must say. As a Texan, native born, I really invite you to come out and see the state.
I would love it. And I hear it's huge. And so you can't just like go one place. You have to spend, a week going to several different places.
You must. You must. All right. Then, following up on that, I want to know have you visited more than 20 states? For me, I think I have about 5 left on my list before I hit all of them. So, have you frequented many of the different states that the good old United States has to offer?
I have. I'd have to take too long to count if it's 20 or more, but I think I'm up there. Quickly, I've done the West Coast and Alaska and Hawaii, which is in all of the East Coast and a good portion of the South and Southwest. So I'm going to say yes, but some of the middle states I'm missing.
Excellent. So, you brought up Alaska. Have you been to Fairbanks?
I haven't. I haven't. I've been to Skagway. I've been to Juneau. I really wanted to get to Denali, and I didn't get to Denali. But I was traveling with people in their 80s, and I thought it was respectful not to make them hike through there.
Were you on a cruise?
I was.
Ah, well, I feel like I'm jumping ahead. That's a difference. Never been on a cruise, but I have been to Alaska and found it was quite beautiful. I peeked into Denali and it was absolutely fantastic.
Oh, yes. Well, you've made me want to go to Denali even more. I'm wondering if we have any food things in common, because we have a few more minutes so we can keep looking for common ground.
For food, ooh, I absolutely love peanut butter. And not just any old peanut butter, crunchy peanut butter.
Well, I love peanut butter. That's not something I normally talk about, but not only do I love peanut butter, I have discovered it is wonderful on apples. It is wonderful on corn. Thank you to my father-in-law, Paul, for that.
Ooh.
I know, things you wouldn't think to do with peanut butter. But it is really, really great on all kinds of things besides just bread.
I think that is absolutely amazing observation. I also have found peanut butter and apples are fantastic. I'm not sure if you've ever applied peanut butter to an Oreo cookie, but that is a game changer right there.
Can't wait to get done with this and do that. That's worth going out to the store to get Oreo cookies.
Right? I'm really interested in peanut butter and corn.
Yeah, I mean, it was not something I would have ever put together, and frankly, I'm not sure I even would have tried it. But you know, my father-in-law took out the jar of peanut butter. We had the fresh corn on the cob, and whoa, with a little bit of salt, there's some sugar in the peanut butter. It's outrageous. Outrageous.
That is fantastic.
All right, so we're on 6 minutes. So let's do a quick debriefing and see how this was for both of us. Any thoughts about what this was like?
Yeah, really enjoyable on my end. I think it's fine. It's fun finding the common ground between myself and someone who I already like.
Yeah. You know, it's interesting because we've done a few recordings of this trying to get it right, and we know a lot more about the things we have in common. So it was exciting to talk about some things that we didn't know we were going to talk about. Yeah. And I found myself going, oh, and I realized, that's the energy that comes from recognizing connection. And even in the places where we may not have exactly the same thing, reading printed books versus audio books, we have the bigger context of we still love books and we love learning from books and being entertained by books.
Yeah, absolutely. So definitely a plus one for the positive, high energy, just general good feeling and that feeling of connectivity for me. So yeah, I thought it was great.
Sounds good. Well, folks, if you want to celebrate International Day of Listening and you're interested in trying something about common ground, give it a shot. Find someone you know a little, or maybe someone you don't know at all, and see what you might have in common with them. Thanks, Drey.
Perfect. Thank you, Jenny.